Good morning. It's Johnny Sunshine. Thank God it's Friday, guys. Thank God. I just looked at some news, some weather reports. It looks like South Carolina got hit really hard. The Carolinas from this Debbie. She's actually strengthened now and heading up towards the New York, New England area. Predicted to drop a lot of rain. And I hope everything, all their infrastructure works and kind of limits it. But I'll tell you what, there are houses everywhere underwater. I mean, 5, 6, some people have water up to their soffits in their area. So, unfortunate, man. And I'm a believer in global warming. And, it's undeniable that the weather has changed over the last 10, 15 years. These storms are more and more prevalent. You keep voting for who you vote for. And, is it really raining or are they pissing on our fucking heads? These guys are full of shit. Anyways, guys, so I got this septic tank system. This church is still backed up. I went there yesterday. The guy, he bought the flappers for that toilet. He got ripped off. I sent him a link that he could buy 4 of those flappers for $10. He bought 2 of them for $22, and he was complaining about the price, which is probably still cheaper than buying 1 of them at a supply house. Anyways, I sent him the link again. Some of these people, you really have to, honestly, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself sometimes. So I try to save them money and let them handle some of the easy shit, but sometimes the easy stuff is tough for them. So I'm a little concerned about this septic tank and drain field issue at this church. I never dug the tank up. And I went there yesterday. It's been, 5, 6 days since this happened. The toilet's been shut off, so there's no water running into the tank. But I assumed that it was associated with this storm. Actually, yesterday when I left, I stopped at a woman's house, the next house down the street, and I knocked on her door and I asked her if she was having issues with her septic system. And she said, and her lot is maybe just a little bit higher than the church's. And she said, the first couple of days she had an issue, but it's all subsided now, and the water in the ditch in front of her house is almost gone. So my concern is that there may be another issue with this drain field and septic tank. Some of these septic tanks have filters on the discharge side, and the way a septic tank is built, there's a baffle in the center with a big hole in the halfway down the tank, so that the water can flow through to the discharge side. The solids and this baffle goes all the way to the bottom of the tank, but it's open on the top, probably 6, 8, 10 inches for airflow. So it's obvious that the tank is full because the cleanout's full of water, overflowing. I think what may have happened is there could be a filter in the discharge side of that septic tank to prevent carryover into the drain field. So maybe the drain field is going to function fine. I just have to go over there today. I was going to take the day off, but they got services this weekend. They actually invited me to on Wednesday next week at lunchtime. They're going to have a brunch type thing. And They invited me to that because I love Middle Eastern food. It's just delicious. I go all the time to Sahara Cafe here in Sarasota, one of Johnny's spots. And so anyways, I got to go over there. Hopefully, you know, it's amazing how what happens is if that septic tank filled up, the way septic tanks work is the discharge pipe. Say this is the discharge pipe on a septic tank. It's going out. There's actually a drop leg and a sanitary tee so that air flows through the top of the sand tee. And the drop leg comes down about 2 feet. And that gets it right in the middle of the effluent, the clear water. The grease and will float on the top of the water, and the solids sink to the bottom in the first chamber of the septic tank. But once it fills up, now you have the ability for that grease and shit to, you know, flow over the top of that baffle in the tank. So I just got to go over there and make sure that there is no filter on that side that's backed up. It's always nice when you reach your hand down in that nasty, shitty septic tank water and yank that filter out and the water just fucking starts flowing. But it stinks, and you got to wash that filter off with a hose. Lots of corn and other nasty shit. But that could be an issue over there. That's the last thing I need to check. Otherwise, I gave him the information for a septic tank company and told him, you know, that they've owned this place for 21 years. He's never done any work on the septic system. He's pumped it. He said he pumped it last year. I don't know how many times he's pumped it over the last 22, 23, 24 years. But if there's a filter in there, that very well could be the problem right now. And I assumed it was associated with the rainfall because so many people are having that issue. But I just need to go over there, take care of that, see if there's a filter. If there is, I'll pull it, see if it drains. But I gave him the information. He's going to call Southern Sanitary. It's a septic tank company. They pump septic tanks, and they also install septic systems. I told him it may be a good investment for him because of the way the weather's changing and the frequency of these storms. I mean, Christ, we got another one coming right now, man. That's, you know, Ernesto. It is what it is, guys. This is a very low-lying area, and flooding is a fucking issue. And he's, you know, they want to have this 3 services a week. And so he may want to invest in a elevated drain field. My guess is that drain field is not functioning at 100% capacity. So anyways, I'm going to go over there today. I didn't want to work, but I'm going to dig up the discharge manhole on that septic tank. First, I need to use my probe rod, and I'll take a can of spray paint and find the edges of the tank, you know, kind of locate it and spray it out so I have an idea of the shape of the tank, which is going to be a rectangle. But you want to find that manhole or clean out cap is going to be in the dead center, probably 2 feet off of the end of the tank. And there'll be one on the inlet side too. So I'm going to do that for him, and you know, for him, hopefully there's a filter in there, but because it's an older building and there's been no work done to that, I'm leaning towards it probably isn't a filter. They didn't put them in, you know, in these older houses, older buildings. That place could be 40 years old for all I know. It was a Mennonite church, and Mennonites, I do a lot of work for them. I can tell you that the calls that I get, it's because of lack of maintenance. They're not high on spending money, being proactive. They wait until shit breaks. So it very well could be that drain field has been, abused the whole fucking time it's been there. But I'm gonna go over and try to fix it today. See if that's That's the only thing that could be wrong. But the water is just, only in the clean out, which is pretty deep. It goes down a good 18 inches, but the water has only dropped like 3 inches in 5 days in that clean out. So very well could be that there's a filter in there. We'll get them going. It is Friday. Me and Sean, we finally got paid for that repipe we did, the second one. That's what I hate about working for management companies. It just takes forever. We did that job, at the end of last month, and he finally got the check yesterday. He should have got it a week ago at least. And but that's what it is, working for contractors, and they all need that shit done yesterday, but then they drag their feet paying you. Don't have much to say today. It's hot again. It's been a really bad summer. Just yesterday I went out and my lawn guy showed up. He's not my lawn guy. He actually cuts the grass across the street. And when my grass needs to be cut, I don't have a contract where I'm paying this guy $150 a month or whatever to cut my grass. And for 6 months out of the year, he doesn't really need to cut it. So I just pay him. I ask him to cut it when it needs to be cut. And yesterday it did. So I went out and I started cleaning up the yard. And we've got these weeds or vines that grow like fucking crazy, and they kill things. They'll just literally cover a whole hedge. And so I went out there before he started to cut my grass, before he showed up, and I picked up a bunch of branches. That tree out there, it took a pretty good hit. There were some good sized branches that fell from the storm. I was cleaning it all up, and I was just piling it up on my driveway because for whatever reason, my trash day was Tuesday and they didn't pick up any yard waste. They're probably busy doing bigger, cleanups. But I saw that vine was growing over one of my hedges, and I started pulling it off, and it's just huge. I mean, it really does strangle trees, man, and bushes. But anyways, Johnny fell on his fucking ass. I got all tangled up. I was out there in my flip-flops. I got all tangled up in them fucking, in the middle of this pile of debris, and Johnny went down like a fucking sack of potatoes right on my fucking ass. And I looked around to see if anybody was watching me. The lawn guy was cutting the grass across the street, and luckily he didn't see me go down like I just felt like I was gonna fall the last few days, the last week. There's a lot of trip hazards, man. Down here, my dogs, they're always under my goddamn feet. Gussie, every time I try to, he lays right in the middle of doorways and right in the path of like right in the middle of the fucking highway. And then when you try to get around him, he'll wag his tail or do something and try to move, and you end up falling. Johnny's got a history of falling a lot. I mean, and it's always kind of funny the way it happens with me. I mean, I could make a whole movie with Johnny Falls. Yeah. But it's been a great couple of weeks video-wise. I actually picked up 4 or 5. Someday I'll get to 5,000, guys. I'm back up to like, I don't know, 4,971. So fucking close, but yet so far. I just can't get to that milestone, man. And I put my time in, man. I really do, boy. I throw up some fucking videos, man. Not like throwing them up, but, you know, I put them up there, man. Johnny's working. It is what it is, guys. But my money from YouTube over the last 4 months has gone from up here to down, boom, 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 boom. Just every month it's less, less, and less. And it's probably got to do with my political beliefs. You know, liberals, they don't have any time for fucking sitting around watching YouTube. But I guess fucking Republicans do. Yeah. And they bail on me when I speak ill of their mascot, Mr. DJT. Things are heating up in the political world. It's getting fucking crazy. Trump is feeling the pressure. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight. There's going to be some ups and downs and swings in the poll. We can all agree that polls are just useless. Most times polls, when you get them on the internet or whatever, you go to take a poll, at the end, you do the whole thing, and at the end, they're like, you got to give us your credit card number. And I'm like, fuck that, you know, so there goes that poll out the window. So, you know, who knows who's responding and who they're basing these poll numbers on. All I can tell you is they've been wrong almost every election for the last 5, 6, 7 cycles. Somebody's way ahead going into the election and then they fucking lose. So it is what it is. You got to take it with a grain of salt. And that's it. So I don't have much on the schedule today. Just paying bills. I'm the middleman, you know. I go out, work my ass off, get the check, and then hand it to somebody else. Jackson, that's where we are. Johnny needs to make a move to simplify his life. Buy a house fucking cash. Fuck the insurance industry. Don't pay for that shit. I'll take the risk myself. If they say it's $4,000 a year, I'll put that $4,000 in an escrow account and let it collect interest. But I think of, even when these storms come through Sarasota, I mean anywhere, you think of the handful or 20, 30, 50, 100, 1,000 houses that get damaged. And you weigh that against the fucking 900,000 houses that didn't get damaged in that area. And you think these fucking guys are just making money like you would not fucking believe, man. And every time, like right now, the insurance companies in fucking Florida, after that storm, they're saying their rates are going to have to go up 97%. That was a pretty quick calculation, you know. They just look for any excuse to raise our fucking rates. And I told the guy at the bank the other day, I said, you know, it warms my heart to know that some CEO is on his fucking 135-foot yacht in the Mediterranean, living high on the hog off of my fucking money and everybody else's who pays for homeowners insurance. What we need in this country, politically and out of Washington, is fucking corporate reform. Corporations are fucking killing us. This shit's unsustainable because they're so fucking greedy. They just never have enough. It's actually written into their bylaws that they have to fuck us. You know, fiduciary responsibility. You know, they're beholden to their shareholders. And if you're a shareholder and you're sitting in your fucking house in your underwear, trading and doing all your shit, you're a fucking scumbag. You know you're hurting fucking Americans. You know you're hurting people, man. Yet you can't get enough. That's what it is with greed, you know? They just will never have enough. And then insurance reform. We need to get in there and look at their books. Look at just how much money they're taking in. And, you know, something stinky in Denmark. If it doesn't seem right, if it stinks a little bit, there's probably a lot of fucking corruption in insurance. Can you just imagine? Compare the amount of people, the houses. I don't know how many houses are in America. I have no idea. I can't even guess a fucking number. But when you compare that number to the amount of people who actually file a claim on their homeowner's insurance, it's got to be fucking 99% of the houses that have homeowner's insurance don't use it, and barely 1% make a claim on it. It's just fucking ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. And down in Florida, it's the worst in the fucking country. Because over the years, boy, those lobbyists on the insurance company have gotten into, and unfortunately, it's the fucking Republicans, man. I'm telling you, you know, it's not apples to apples, man. They're not the same. The Republicans are in bed with these guys. I could see Ron DeSantis out playing golf, selling his fucking soul to the devil. Give me a contribution. Trump's doing it right now. Calling up fucking leaders across the world. Calling up fucking, you know, Elon Musk. The fuck do you think? He's gonna give him $24 million a fucking month and not expect something in return? If you believe that, you're fucking naive, man. So he's out there selling his influence big time. And I know all you're gonna say, the Democrats are doing it too. Well, Democrats aren't fucking pushing tax cuts for billionaires, guys. And who's our biggest problem? The rich. They've weaponized their money against the American people. And Warren Buffett says all the time, the rich are winning the war. Yes, they are. They've about decimated the middle class in this country. People are working for nothing at Walmart, the richest fucking corporation. They give you a goddamn food stamp application when you go to work for these people. Come on, man. The poor people need all that money? I don't know. Don't get me going today. This is going to be a short one. You guys love my fucking political rants anyways. I was thinking Steve Lav. I watched a couple videos the other day of him, and he was fucking ranting and raving about fucking windmills and we're gonna save the planet and that. And I thought to myself, well, he's probably on the short list for EPA secretary or Secretary of Energy for the Trump administration. Yeah, the short list. And it has nothing to do with his 5'4" stature. Yeah. It just is maddening. What are we gonna do? Save the fucking planet? We're gonna fucking try, you dope. The fuck, man? Come on. Alright, guys, I gotta go. It's Friday. Johnny don't need to get his fucking panties in a wad. And, have a great weekend, man. Stay safe, you people up north. Get your shit together, man. It's coming. It's fucking coming. Debbie, she's not kind.